Hey guys, this is EA Spuds from the Plamo Build Report, and today we're going to talk about a kit that I've been waiting for almost 6 months after its delay, the Kotobukiya Zero. Now, this is a 1/12 scale model made by Kotobukiya, predecessing the original X model that came out about a year ago. Over in the side of the box, you can see that it includes 3 weapons with a Z Buster, and I'm pretty excited about this kit, to be honest with you, because Zero is really my favorite character of the X series. And I'm finally glad that they finally released this kit because it's been way too long. With the shipping delayment and everything else, we finally have this beautiful kit on hand. There are about 20 runners in this kit, including 3 interchangeable faceplates and also a shoulder part with a Z decal. Now, most of the color is going to be utilizing Zero's iconic coloring, which is going to be the red, white, and the metallic silver. And there's a lot of clear parts to this kit because of the Z-Saber mainly. And if you look at the Z-Saber part itself, you'll see a huge Z-Saber right here. And that's one of the biggest highlight of this kit. Also, most of these kits are perfectly color separated. However, it seems like there may be some paint jobs needed to perfect Zero. One thing that you notice right away in the instruction manual is that there is a notification for a correction. So basically in the L runner right here, which is mostly consisted of the Z-Saber parts, there's this one part right here that has been not included in the instruction manual. So I'm not entirely sure if this is the reason why this has been delayed or because of this current world global situation that we have right now. But either way, they let us know, and I don't think it's a huge deal at this point. The overall build process of this kit wasn't that bad at all. It's definitely not a beginner's kit because there are some portions where you have to utilize a knife to clean the nut marks out. Not to mention there's also a lot of sharp edges that will hurt you. I got stabbed numerous of times by the finger because of trying to put things together. But despite all that, the overall head structure is very well put together. There's no noticeable seams that I see anywhere. A lot of great panel lines that you could just fill in the panel lines in to make the kit a little better. And the clear part looks very nice. Now the torso is amazingly separated very well in terms of the colors. So the yellow part and also the clear part itself is the major big point that's compared with the X model that we got a year before. And the overall joints for the shoulder and the arms has vastly improved compared to what we had before. I believe last time that we went to a Megaman X Kit, the shoulder joints kind of gave a little trouble because of its tightness, and the amount of movability for the joint wasn't that great. But for the Zero model, they've improved that overall. So while building this kit, I've noticed that there's a significant amount of undergates to this kit. So if you don't know what an undergate is where the nut mark is at the bottom of the part rather than on the side of the surface. This is really helpful to provide that clean finish without even having to worry about the nut marks on the side. So here's how you cut it. All you gotta do is just cut normally as you would do. And then there's going to be some nut marks left over on the side, so be sure to cut that one as well. One thing you'll have to be careful is you have to be careful not to cut the part out while you're doing the second one. However, there's a lot of them here, so if you are new to undergating, this kit will be a very good practice of using this. There isn't really much to say about the arm assembly itself, as it is very similar to the X model from a year ago. The only big difference is going to be the shoulder with the Z, and also the noticeable seam lines that you'll see right here. This is exactly the same kind of issue that we had for the X model. So when you're putting this together, consider doing some seam line removals for this one. Now, building the leg was a lot of fun, as there are a lot of part separations to this kit. Compared to the only 2-part for the Megaman X, which is only just 2 parts together, Zero has a lot of color separation parts here for the yellow, the red, and also for the white, as well as for the clear part as well. Now, again, you'll see noticeable seam line right through the middle. The articulation is great, and the thigh part actually sticks together compared to the X part. Now, the only thing that I wish Kotobukiya did a lot better is going to be the clear part itself. The bottom clear part is way too clear, so you can see the inside of the feet with the ball joint, and I just wish they had something to put to cover that. And last but not least, the hair part. Now, this hair part is Zero's iconic, I guess, signature symbol. Basically, it's a huge part, and this is as big as the kit himself, and the detail of this part is very, very nice. It's also on a ball joint, so you can move it freely when you're going to do a pose. Kind of remind me of the Noble Gundam, but Noble Gundam I don't think has that much articulation with the hair. This one actually does, and it holds pretty well. And overall, it looks great. The only thing that I really wish this hair would be is that it would be like a hollow part, maybe a two-part. There's a hollow end within the inside. And after we put it together, here is Maverick Hunter Class SA-0. I love how this kit looks. The red shines, and the whole characteristic of this kit just spells out Zero. It's very accurate to the game itself, and I'm in love. Taking a closer look at this kit, now the color separation and everything is beautifully done here, especially with the clear parts. The clear parts really shine, along with the Z decal on the left shoulder, which is very good because this kit has no sticker at all, and the Z part over there, it's already on the shoulder part itself. So you don't really have to worry about applying any stickers to this kit. Also, the Z Saber itself, the color is a little yellow and maybe gold, but for those, you could just paint those. Unfortunately, just like the previous kit, there are going to be a large amount of seam lines you can see here. So the seam on the arm is just inevitable, along with the legs. You can see there's going to be a huge seam right there, and it holds pretty well. However, later in the end, it will fall apart. So if you want to paint this kit or just do like a little modification, I suggest do some seam line removals. Personally, I would like to praise Kotobukiya for using the clear kits. However, I wish they did a little more to it. So I'm not sure if Zero actually had those nipples that you see in the green. That I cannot unsee those. And along with the bottom of the feet, as mentioned earlier, the clear part's a little too clear. I wish Kotobukiya added some like a thicker clear part for this one, or just kind of like a silver sticker just to cover those transparency. Now let's look into the hair part. The hair part, as mentioned before, has a great amount of detail. There is one little thing that I guess we all have to go through is going to be the inside of the hair. Because the hair part is very hollow in the inside, it kind of doesn't give the overall 3D feel of the head. It just feels so flat and hollow. I wish Kotobukiya did a little more work in this one, despite the fact that this kit is pretty expensive. Given the fact that Zero's iconic hair is included, there is only one type of hair that's included in this one. There is one other hair that's more tied up and they're more articulate, but that is included in the Nightmare Zero version, and which I am not very happy about because Zero would definitely benefit from those. It just feels like a cash grab for me to just get the hair part. With that being said, let's take a look at the articulation of this kit. So the articulation isn't really that different from the X model. You got your head turning, although it's a little harder to turn the head because of the hair part right there. So you might have to just move the hair around. Luckily the hair is in a ball joint, so you can move it freely in any direction. The shoulder articulation has a massive improvement compared to the X. Now I can move forward a little further than before. The elbow is on a single joint and it could go over a little over 90 degrees. For some reason, when you're trying to move the elbow to the side, you have to hold the shoulder armor and then move it. This is due to because the connection between the arm and the shoulder is very tight. So, and as you can see right here, it just falls right off. The torso is in a ball joint, so you can move freely as you please in any direction you want. As for the lower torso, the waist area, the legs can kind of go stretch up to that much. Not too far, but really a good amount. And if you lower down the thighs a little bit, you can stretch it out even further, giving Zero enough room to lift his leg. The knees can bend down a little over 90 degrees due to its special double joint. As for the ankles has a separate ball joint in there as well, so it could freely move at any angle it wants. Zero also includes with 2 different face parts, 6 different type of hands, a Z-Buster, and the Z-Saber. Just like the X, Zero has 3 different type of facial expressions that it could change depending on how you want to pose him. Other than the stoic face, you can see the open mouth and also the teeth grinding face. Now, changing the face got a little complex compared to the X, so you actually have to take apart the head itself and then you gotta remove the face. This luckily has been done very easily with no massive strength at all. However, as mentioned before, there are sharp edges on the tip of the head, so you have to just be careful not to stab yourself with the edges right there. It is very sharp, but it's fairly easy to take out. And of course, you can't be Zero if you don't have a Z-Saber. The Z-Saber detail is very well done and almost everything can be taken apart very easily. There's an additional handle that has no detail at all, and this is for one of Kotobukiya's MSG part, which is the light up saber effect part, so that you can light your Z-Saber up, but you'll have to utilize this handle. There are 3 different types of Z-Saber effects parts you can see right here. There's the round type, the sharp type, and the blade type. And then we got this gigantic type, which is a cool effect part for the Z-Saber itself. I really enjoy utilizing this one, and this one looks pretty good. There are 2 other beam effects part that's included to insert in between the Z-Saber effects part and also the Z-Saber itself. So this kind of acts like the whole effect of beam just spurting out of the Z-Saber. And there are 2, and you attach it just like so. But there's only one of them in there, so if you want to change the different type of blade, you will have to pull these out. They are very sharp at the edge, so be careful when you're pulling this out. Just do gently and you'll be just fine. There is also a hand part for Zero to hold the Z-Saber, which is like kind of a thumbs up pose, and it has like a hollow end, and it fits the Z-Sabers perfectly. And as you can see here, it looks great in action. So with inclusion of the actual Z-Saber part and the Z-Saber itself, you can put it on any different type of hand to create this dynamic pose. And I think this is what this kit's going to be all about. This Z-Saber really, again, defines what Zero is as a video game character and the character we love. And it also has that thumb, so you could use it for the victory pose at end of X4. I really like this kind of detail, and it's pretty cool. And finally, we got the Z-Buster. Now, this came out in Megaman X3 and X5. And it looks pretty good. It's a lot bigger than X's Buster and has a lot of good clear parts here. Nice detail. So now, how does this compare with X? X has been released a year ago, and let's see if there's any improvements overall. Generally speaking, the only big improvement that has been made to Zero is gonna be the joints themselves. I mean, comparison with X, they're pretty similar kits in general. They have same seam line, same type of clear parts, and I guess the same type of material they're using. However, the big difference that I see here is going to be the joints themselves. X's shoulder joints was a little too short for its kind, and Zero has vastly improved that portion by making it a little longer. On the overall silhouette and the height, of course, Zero is going to be a little taller because that's kind of how it's stated in the source material itself. Generally in the size, X is going to be a lot smaller. However, this is regular X we're talking about. When we look at the max armor, X gets bulked up.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Hey, thanks for sticking around to this final part of the video, which I'll be giving you my personal insight and my opinion of this kit. So this kit was a very enjoyable experience when building. Kind of reminded me the first time I built the X, which that itself was really good. I just really feel that Kotobukiya can do a little better with the overall build quality itself. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is a great looking kit, and with everything that we builders have in our ability to make it better, I think it's worth it. However, for those people who have never built a Kotobukiya kit before, I don't know if I could highly recommend this kit to them, because the skill level is kind of like above medium or advanced level. There are some snub marks that need to be taken care of with knives. Some of the stuffs are sharp, and also the clear parts seem to be in a way that they just put it in there just because. The clear part itself was way too clear, and it really didn't give any huge definition of what it actually does look like in video games. For example, the nipples that I see, I can't really unsee that anymore. It's gonna drive me nuts. But there are other portions like, just one hair piece for this kit rather than there should be around two. And also adding in that extra hair piece to another kit, which we don't know when we're gonna get it. The Nightmare Zero also was supposed to release back in June. However, it got delayed and there was nothing ever since where they say that they're going to release it again. So with all that, I wish Kotobukiya would have done a better job of putting this a little better. But, it's almost perfect. And no one's really perfect, right? I mean, at least we got the kit itself here and we enjoyed the build. I just wish that they could have done a little better. They would shown a little more love to this kit. I mean, come on, it's Zero. Well, one of Megaman X's all-time favorite character. With that being said, this Kotobukiya kit was very good, and I recommend to people who are a huge fan of Mega Man. Even Mega Man X or classic Mega Man fans can really enjoy this kit overall. With that being said, this has me EA Sputs from the Plamo Build Report, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.